You're watching Flight TV, the second release of a new public show made for people who are really into flying. The sponsor of our show, the Aerovolga Company, continues with mass production of La-8 amphibious flying boats and the development of the two-seater Boreas airplane. Alexander Schwietgen is in the studio with you again. Hi, everybody. Aviators Fashion House, Technoavia Company, held its conference with the view of its further participation in Moscow's MAX Air Show. Last weekend, Sevierka Airfield hosted an aerial navigation race sponsored by the Federation of Aviation Lovers of Russia, the FAL. Aviation News. On the 1st of April, the Korean Central News Agency, KCNA, disseminated its photo coverage of how Korean leader Kim Jong-un visited the aviation maintenance facility where they started production of a light piston airplane. Kim Jong-un combines the post of the head of the Korean Communist Labor Party, the president of the Korean government, and the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. He highly appreciated the new airplane and its engine, both made by his personal demand of exclusively locally produced parts and components. Russian spectators might be in doubts because of the date of this announcement, but our advisors insist that North Koreans are not aware of the very existence of April 1st jokes. Above that, any jokes connected to the Korean leader are not much welcome in North Korea, to put it mildly. The Twitter social network has published a photograph of the Transaero air carrier's airplane painted in a proposed new color scheme. The Transaero's official account has confirmed this information. The carrier has not done any rebranding since its foundation in 1990. On the 9th of April, the government-owned Rossiya Aviation Company suspended operation of its whole fleet of 6 Ukrainian Antonov's AN-148 passenger aircraft. The airplanes are owned by Ilyushin Finance Leasing Company and plan to be shifted to the Emergency Control Ministry of Russia and to Angara Air Carrier. The rumor is that all 78 pilots and 100 technicians employed on these aircraft will now be fired. Encouraging news for Russian fans of the widely famous Soviet Tupolev's Tu-154M airliner. The aviation blogger and photographer Sergei Martirosyan came to an agreement with the Belarusian Belavia national carrier to employ a Tu-154 on one of its Moscow to Minsk regular flights. If the event gathers more than 120 passengers, all tickets will be sold for only 120 euros both ways. The program also includes photographs of the airplane and passengers during the flight. Now Sergei has organized a Facebook poll of the flight's scheduled date. The proposed variants are the 20th of June, the 11th of July, or the 8th of August. On the 29th of May this year, Belavia is going to perform a Minsk to Geneva regular return flight on board the Tu-154M for those Soviet aircraft lovers who live in Western Europe. The air ticket price for this flight is 5,500 Russian rubles from Minsk to Geneva and 9,500 rubles for the return flight. Tupolev's Tu-154M is currently operated in Russia by Gazprom Avia and Alrosa Air Companies. This summer, Russian Cosmos Air Company is also going to start regular operation of these airplanes for passenger flights. B91 aviation gas for Lycoming engines, the long-proven quality. Airvin Company, the official distributor of the Water Aviation Group, the manufacturer of B91 aviation gasoline. The Russian Federation of Aviation Lovers organizes a new event almost every month. Last weekend, they held an aerial navigation race at Sevierka Airfield. Yevgeny Maximov has more about the peculiarities of national sky orienteering. Precision piloting, or aerial navigation racing, is not a very popular sport now, but its number of addicts steadily grows with every season. The rules are simple. Just 20 minutes before takeoff, a pilot receives his map, a timing list with control points, and a GPS logger for precise registry of the flight route. The task is to pass through the 1 kilometer wide route and make 2 precise landings. Going outside of the 1 kilometer corridor, overshooting or undershooting is punished by penalty points. The one who gets the fewest points wins. Any pilot is allowed to compete regardless of his total flight time. Only will and map reading skills matter, nothing else. It is necessary to have an effective PPL and a medical certificate, and of course, great desire, because many who start this sport soon get frustrated by the first difficulties. So hard work and persistence is the key issue. Naturally, this sport is for aviation addicts. If you look at its history, when it started in the 1930s in Sweden and Poland, it was the best training for pilots for flying a route without navigation aids, meaning it was exactly intended for purely visual flights with no GPS, radio compasses, and so on. So the practical effect of this race is that a pilot who does this can easily fly with only a map and magnetic compass in his hand. The main aim of air navigation racing is to teach pilots not only how to fly by map, but also how to pass a route in a limited space corridor to get the control points exactly at the scheduled time and to make a precise landing at the established spot. One can mistake navigation racing for aviation racing. However, there is a fundamental difference between them. Aviation racing is more difficult. It presumes not only flying inside a corridor, but that the pilot should make the route himself, finding land targets by photographs and signs, and it takes an hour and a half. A navigation race takes only 20 to 30 minutes. An aviation race looks similar, but it's more difficult. You have to take about 20 photos and find 7 turning points. The time is short. If you fail, you're punished by penalty points. There are some secret points too. If you are late on them, you get a penalty again, and so on. This means the task is more complex. If you have a map and a route on it, turning points should be passed at the exact time. There are also some points marked on the field judges' maps. You don't know about them. When you fly, they also clock it and punish anyone who is late. The navigation race is sponsored by the FAL and the Ministry of Sports of Russia, and the winners get official government classification marks. All participants of the regional race get Class 3 in aviation sports. Those who occupied 10th to 5th places get Class 2. Those who get 4th to 1st place get Class 1. The winner gets the right to participate in all Russia Championship and Cup tournaments. Those who take part in Russia's competitions get Master Candidate class. 1st to 5th place gets Master of Sports class. It's that simple, and everyone is welcome. In the nearest time, we're going to have the regional phase and afterwards the All Russia Championship. We plan to do it first in Samara, then Nizhny Novgorod, and maybe Kazakh. The second place in the race was taken by a 17-year-old student of a pilot school. It's that easy. An instructor pilot is allowed on board. My intention was just to be part of the event, because participation in such competition gives you 5 additional points on entrance exams at aviation institutes. When I came to the airfield and started all the preparations, and my dad started to teach me what to do, I suddenly realized that this is not just for an additional 5 points. This is for myself, for my experience, and for my dad finally, because it is his achievement that his son started flying on his own, that he managed to teach me to fly. Within several months, when he turns 18, Vasily will have his private pilot's license. But a PPL is not the final task for him. He is going to enter the Ulyanovsk Pilot School or St. Petersburg Civil Aviation Academy to become a professional pilot. A private pilot's license received from an air club is good, but institutes don't consider it. It might help you to enter the institute, and then it improves your image before your instructor, but it doesn't mean you have enough knowledge in the pilot's profession. My dad put me on the front seat of a Yak-18 airplane when I was 6, so I got used to flying since I was young. You could say that I got infected by aviation ever since then. Everyone can register for the next air navigation race through the Federation of Aviation Lovers of Russia. The members can rent an FAL airplane. You just have to have a PPL, medical certificate, and be a member of the FAL. Yevgeny Maximov, Alexander Moseev, Flight TV.
The most popular, proven, and reliable amphibian flying boat in Russia. Certified structure, extreme simplicity of mastering and flying, super short takeoff and landing distances, just 230 feet. Negligible cost of spare parts and maintenance, less than $30 per flight hour. Very attractive purchase price, just $80,000 for a brand new airplane.
The Technoavia Company is widely known among Russian aviators, even though we have never spoken about it in our show so far. For more than 20 years, Technoavia has made aviation pants, jackets, and flying suits highly appreciated by professional and private pilots. We went to the company's seminar to find out what's new. The Russian aviation community knows Technoavia well. It is the oldest and most famous on the Russian market. Established in 1992, Technoavia now has its subsidiaries and sales offices in 75 cities of Russia, selling dozens of models of flying suits, semi-suits, jackets, and shoes made in its own factories here in Russia. Military men, civil aviation people, test pilots, air companies, and aviation land personnel wear clothes made by Technoavia. We highly appreciate Technoavia's responsible approach to satisfying the needs of our flight personnel. A comfortable suit is a great success factor in our job. Technoavia's guys just come to the airfield to see how we work, to know what we need, and to let us choose what is more suitable for us. Besides the high quality of the clothes, Recar likes Technoavia's innovative policy, the willingness to fill special orders, such as super warm flying suits designed exclusively for air crews flying to the Arctic and Antarctic. Technoavia makes freeze-proof flying suits of soft goat leather. They never become stiff at low temperatures, an indispensable feature for those working in the far north of Russia. Some of their innovations originate from new users' demands, some from new materials. Technoavia works hard in research of innovative design solutions and modern material. That is why I like working with them. Technoavia's sales offices have much to show for all those who work hard in the production industries, security services, healthcare, even tourists, hunters, and fishermen. But still, aviation is their first priority. It started in 1992. Aviation was our first task. Like that first love which sticks in your heart forever. So we make aviation clothes with love as we tend to protect the pilot. Whether it is a leather jacket or a flying suit, gloves or shoes, all this should be designed to protect the pilot in a critical situation. Technoavia pursues a comprehensive approach to the user's needs. They offer not only their own products, but the products of a dozen world-known manufacturers covering a whole range of things needed at the airfield, from a large choice of mechanics gloves to the famous 3M Peltor headsets. It's good to be able to get everything you need in one shop, as they say. We work with 3M Peltor. This Swedish company was the first in the world to start making aviation headsets. Peltor's founder was a serviceman, and he experienced some troubles in regards to his ear protection. So Peltor's sets provide full protection and maximum dependability for pilots and maintenance staff at all noise levels. We've tested them at 130 decibels, extremely high noise, and they work. It's a very effective product. With care for its clients, Technoavia pursues its feed-forward promotion policy. At the end of March, just before the start of a new summer season, they held a seminar to present their new cotton and fireproof flight clothes for government flight detachments, Russia, Gromos Flight Test Institute, and dozens of other clients. During the seminar, Technoavia introduced to the Russian aviation community their new partner, French aviation helmets manufacturer MSA Company. The MSA presentation was held by the chief of the company's safety department. MSA's model number 50 helmet was most appealing to private pilots. This model of the helmet is especially liked by sports and aerobatic pilots. It has an inner visor. You can put it in when the sun is too bright. It can be either clear or dark as sunglasses. It does not fall or hinder. It's very useful. Another use is for summer prop spraying. It's a very light and pleasant helmet. Technoavia has a new proposal for private air clubs and airfields, the development of individual styles and logos for their staff clothes, just like in big air carriers. Technoavia will be presented at the Heli Russia 2015 Air Show in their stand 3L1. Yevgeny Maximov, Alexander Moseyev, Flight TV. Aero Volga, the manufacturer of industrial La-8 amphibian flying boats, goes on with its promotion activities. The first buyers of the new two-seater amphibian Boreas will get it by the autumn for only $85,000 US per unit. A private pilot ordering the La-8 will get a Boreas as a bonus. There's always a place for a second airplane in a good family backyard. Put your likes in Facebook if you like our show. Flight TV is a people's TV show. If you have something to share with the aviation community members, your proposals and invitations are very welcome. What is a wingsuit, and who are base jumpers? Are they just crazy or super professionals? This is an endless dispute. But this bug can infect some aviators too. Today's No Comment show is about how to jump from a rock in an airplane. Have a safe watching. This has been Alexander Schwietke. See you soon.